Hi everyone, welcome to Indicted TV. I'm your host Negra. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. Today's episode, we have a prison wife, Jay. And Jay, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where did you grow up, your family, things like that, your upbringing.
So I grew up in Amani. I'm originally from Amani. I've lived there my whole life. I went in and out throughout the years, lived in different states, and basically came back. I have two siblings, so I'm the youngest and the only girl out of three.
Oh, nice. Okay. Have you ever been in trouble as a teenager? Like, that's kind of the question I wanted to ask. Like, have you ever been in trouble? Like, did you finish school? Did you have both of your parents there?
Well, growing up, yes, I had both my parents. I grew up in a really good household. I want to say I was basically good until maybe sixth grade. I kind of slacked off a little bit, started hanging out and all that stuff. And then, from sixth grade to, want to say, eighth grade, that's when I was getting in trouble here and there. Nothing major, nothing like that, just hanging out with the wrong people. I had my daughter really young.
Ah, so you're a young mom. Yeah. Okay.
So I actually graduated from eighth grade, pregnant. And I went into high school, having my daughter. So.
Oh my God, that's like a lot. How did you do that? Like.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was hard, obviously, having to go through that basically by myself. Throughout the whole eighth grade year, I kind of went to a continuation school where I was, separated from everybody from like the regular, middle school and stuff. And like I said, I went back to graduate from my middle school pregnant, so once I had her, I continued to go into high school. She was already a few months when I entered into high school and stuff. So just growing up with her, I basically grew up with her.
Yeah.
My parents helped me a lot and stuff. So
Thank God
I
for your
had
parents,
that support.
right? That you had the support. Yeah. I wanted to ask, what kind of boys are you into? Because this is like, I always see girls that get pregnant young. Well, not obviously we all see, kids having kids, right? And some moms say, "Ay, mientras que mi hija, she's a good girl. She only just has one boyfriend and this and this and that." Like sometimes, like the boys are the ones that mislead the girls. So, what kind of boys were you into?
So like I said, up until, that grade, that's when I started like, oh, okay, well, this is where I started getting more into like, oh, bald head, tattoos type of thing. And, it went from there.
Cholo vibes for sure. Especially back then. What year, like around, what year was this?
Well, this was back in like 2008.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
2007, yeah.
That's when I went to prison.
Yeah, so it was around that time.
Okay. And you had your daughter here in Almani.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like we said, she's a prison wife, right? So that's what we're going to get into. Have you always been a prison wife?
No. I actually just got married this month, so...
well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so we just got married and, it's been an ongoing relationship for over a year, a little bit, so...
So it's really new?
Yeah, it's new.
So how did you meet your man?
So basically, he ended up hitting me up from one day to another. It was just, kind of to ask a simple question.
Mm-hmm.
We just ended up hitting off, I guess. Yeah, we hit it off.
So you had no idea who this guy was? Nothing?
No.
He just called you for a question, whatever?
Yeah, and then we just basically hit it off from there.
Ah.
And this was literally, I want to say, within that first week, we talked for hours on the phone. Yeah, so we clicked.
That's
and it was kind of something that I don't think it's ever happened before. So I kind of felt that connection from the start and everything.
You felt the connection and it's like so different.
It is.
Because you've never been in a relationship with someone incarcerated.
No. I mean, I've always been very independent. Either way, I haven't really been in all of the relationships out here anyway. So, being with him incarcerated, I don't think it was, much different just because I was always the type that was always working, doing stuff. I'm not, out there hanging out with, my ex that was out here, obviously. I wasn't really the type of person that was always apegada with somebody,
So you're, especially being a young mom, you were, you're used to being on your own, like independent, like you ain't worried about nobody, you're just doing you. And if someone comes, if someone doesn't, whatever. And that week, you guys were on the phone 24/7.
Basically, yeah.
And did you think like, oh my God, like, how is this guy like just like calling all day, like, and like, what did you think? Or you just went with the flow?
I kind of went with the flow in the beginning. I was kind of like iffy about it just because it was new to me. So I questioned a lot, like, what does he want? You know, why is he calling me?
Yeah,
You know,
well,
as far
obviously, you knew why he was calling because he's not gonna call for like no,
Yeah.
it was.
No, I know, but like the more of like the questioning of like why is he sweet talking me type of thing. Like what does he want with me, or what does he want from me? I should say.
Okay.
You know, that's where that went a lot through my mind. But you know, I kind of like brushed that off and just kind of went with the flow.
You went with the flow. So you never asked him.
No, I kind of just went with it.
Ah, and he was definitely a smooth talker,
Yeah.
huh?
Definitely was.
Hey, it's really true what they say. That prison talk ain't no joke, huh? Good thing I never been manipulated and I got my husband, right? Nah, not like that. I'm talking shit, but you know, it's. I'm sure it's hard. So you've been with him for like you said, like a whole year. You visit
a little bit over the year.
You visit. You met his family.
Yes,
all of that. Ah, okay. How was his parents? Like I don't, like I've never been in that situation like that. So to go meet this person, like, hey, your son's new girlfriend or wife or whatever. Like, how were they with you?
They're actually very supportive. Very supportive about our relationship and everything. And it actually started off with me talking to his sister. You know, he started with, hey, I want you to be my sister. And we talked on the phone, and the same thing, we clicked, we hit it off, and I ended up meeting his parents once I went over to meet the sister.
Nice.
So they're really nice people. They support our relationship, and whatever help that I need, then it comes down to him. They're always here to help.
I'm sure his parents have always been there for him.
They have. Yeah, they're very supportive.
Very supportive. I love his parents. For the
So
camera
do I.
guys, his parents have always been there for him. Always, So how did he propose to you? Like, tell me a little bit more about that. Like, was it like, hey, you want to get married? Or
so,
like, how did that go? Like, tell us. Make me excited.
I always make fun of him because I tell him, he called me to ask me to marry him. Basically just told me I love you the same day just because of how fast we clicked. So it was just something that was, up in the air and everything, and we've talked about it. And like I said, everything happened so fast. So I want to say maybe within a few months that we were talking, he's like, hey, I want to get married. And we kind of just talked about it, and we finally did it.
And after so long of talking, did you go up and visit?
I did. It took me maybe 6 months to get approved.
Okay.
I don't know the reason why. It doesn't usually take that long, but it did. And it was because he was at another prison. Once he got moved into another prison a few hours more far out, I actually sent out another application, and they approved me right away. So that was the reason why I couldn't go visit him. If not, I would have been visiting him for a while already. The first time I actually saw him was at court.
So you went to his court?
I did, and I saw him for 5 minutes, and I drove back. That was the first time I ever saw him.
What did you think when you saw him? Did you get the butterflies?
I did, and I was more nervous than anything, so I was like, oh shit.
And it sucks because you can't even like talk to him.
Exactly.
So you're just gonna go a ver cómo se ve el güey, ¿verdad?
Basically. And I liked what I seen, so aquí estoy.
No, but bien casadita.
Yeah.
So you said earlier that you've been married for how long?
Not even a whole month yet.
Not even a whole month.
Yeah, on the 10th we got married.
And tell us the process of getting married.
So we did it a little different. Usually the process would be, you have to send in your application. They have to mail it out to us, and they have to send it in. You have to send a letter, basically stating that you do want to marry him, why you want to marry him, the charges that he has, basically put it there that you're aware of everything. We don't want to go through that whole process just because it takes a while, and not just that, but there's a lot of people that have been having issues with that. So we ended up finding a marriage coordinator that was actually able to marry us, and we went, directly to the clerk office, and he basically represents him, and we just got married like that.
So you didn't see him when you guys got married?
No, we were on the phone. But I didn't see him. Yeah.
Because I have seen like pictures or like videos or whatever, like when the girls go in there and they wear their little white dress.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that.
So
we got married on a Friday, and I actually had my visit on Saturday. So I saw him the next day. And
well, that was good. You got
we
to give him
took pictures and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. When you visit, and you got to leave, like,
It's hard. It's really hard because, you know, when you're at the moment, you just want to take them home.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this relationship is so much different compared to other relationships. And I don't even mean just because he's in there. I mean because I think that it's more like whole. Like if the guy is not in it for the real relationship, then he's just in it for whatever but when you're both in it for like the real love, like you really know each other from deep down, like who you really, really, really are, and it's not sexual. Obviously, it's the lust for sure, right? But it's not sexual because you know damn well you're not gonna go like, you know what I'm saying? It's more deeper, like it's like real love, like when you actually know each other mentally and who you are before even like anything. Right?
Yeah. And that's where, you know, it's hard right there because every relationship has its own problems, not just because, you know, you're with somebody incarcerated. It means it's going to be harder because relationships out here are hard itself. You know, being with somebody in there, you have to deal with a lot of stuff, you know, mentally, physically, you know.
Tell us a little bit more about that. Like, what kind of stuff do you have? Don't tell us like what kind of stuff you got to deal with. But I mean, yeah, if you could, like that you got to deal with more mentally and physically, like things like that. Like, do you think, just tell us a little bit more about that. Like, how do you feel within you?
So speaking for our relationship, in the beginning, it was hard just because, you know, you just met. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. He's in there. I'm out here. So it's very difficult, you know, especially for somebody who's in there. Mm-hmm. They're limited. You know, they're limited to their time, to when they talk on the phone, when they get to see you. So if you could only imagine how somebody in a relationship is out here, you know, as far as like jealousy and stuff, and you're out here. Oh. Now him being in there where he has to deal with that and he has to tell himself like, you know what, like I have to be here and I have to trust her and I have to, you know, just believe everything that's being said rather than his thoughts, because it comes a lot with that. Oh, you know, especially somebody who's in there, who's been in there for so long, all they know is whatever it is in there, you know, like their mind is, it runs different. It runs different than somebody out here. So as far as like us, like it's really hard sometimes just because, you know, I have my business that I got going on. In the beginning, it was a little bit tough just because I told him, you know, like, hey, you know, me putting myself out there means I'm going to meet people, I'm going to talk to people, which was one of our issues in the beginning. You know, who are you talking to? Or who's this? Or who's that? You know, it's never gone to the point where he's like, hey, I need you to stop talking to people, but he questions it a lot. Sure. He did, at least. You know, he's actually gotten more better at that.
Good, because I'm sure, like, I mean, they don't have to understand, but if they want somebody to really be there and love them be there and love them, they have to let a person live out here. And I don't even mean like, oh, you got to go fucking clubbing. I mean, yes, if she wants to go out and club, like she has all the right. Like, so when I talk to my friends, my guy friends are incarcerated, you know, they have their girls out here and I'm like, hey, let your girl do this with me or whatever. Like, nah, dick or whatever. I'm like, bro, you gotta let them live. Yeah. Like, yes, she's already there. Like, be happy and appreciate the fact that you're not alone. Yeah. So if she wants to go shake her little butt a little bit, allow her. That'll make her love you even more and harder and be there even deeper. Like, yeah, my man lets me and he trusts me. Like, I think that's like helps a relationship a little more. It does, because
that's basically how we are. Like, you know, I go out, you know, with friends and stuff here and there. I don't have many friends, but when I do, like, it's, you know, we'll go do pop-ups, we'll go just hang out, whatever.
I understand.
You know, so he's very understanding to that, you know, and I feel like, you know, when they're understanding, they don't question a lot, just because me and him have a very open relationship to where whatever he thinks he's going to tell me, this guy does not hold back.
Which is amazing.
Yes. And whether it's good or bad, he's going to let me know, you know, whatever he feels. Him, right? I am, you know, so whenever I feel like there's an issue, I'm going to address it, you know, so he does the same thing. If something bothers him, he lets me know. Good. And it's really basically up to me to change that.
Yes. You know, like we have to set boundaries no matter what. Like, do you have those boundaries as far as like, hey, I'm going to do this. Your opinion matters, but it doesn't mean that I'm actually going to follow through with what you're saying, because what you're saying doesn't benefit me out here.
Yeah. Well, that's basically where it comes back to my business. Mm-hmm. You know, as far as like him saying, you know, you're gonna talk to guys are gonna hit you up, and because I have my clothing stuff going on, so I'm gonna talk to a bunch of people.
Of course.
And I let him know, look, if I'm gonna do this, you have to allow for me to talk to. If I have to talk to guys, I'm gonna talk to guys, but it's gonna be business. You know, same thing with, you know, if I'm gonna talk to anybody, it's gonna be business.
Yeah.
And he understands that. He
Which
does.
is good.
You know,
Good.
because at the end of the day, you know, you're gonna do what you want, regardless, whether he's in there or out here.
Yeah.
He's gonna do whatever he wants, and so am I.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and
This is like a weird question. Well, it's not weird, but you know, guys are in prison. Like, has he ever made you feel like, oh no, don't come visit me, because, you know, like another person, like, or things like that. You get what I'm saying? You know how, like, I mean, it's just like a thing that people hear. Oh, fools in jail always have a gang of girls or whatever. Like, do you think that's true?
I believe it's true because, I mean, I've seen it through other people, but me personally, no. He's
Oh,
never
well,
made me feel
good,
like that. Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
always been like, you know, always like, hey, come whenever you can type of thing. And that's another thing too, you know. I feel like with me and him, like, he's very understanding of when I can and can't go.
That's good.
You know, because I know there could be issues, you know, even not just them trying to avoid for you going, but, you know, why aren't you coming to see me? You know, well, I have stuff to do. You know,
Yeah.
he's very understanding when it
Which
comes
is
down to that.
amazing because it makes your life out here stress-free. Obviously, there's always stress, but, you know, like to have that pressure, like, hey, why aren't you going to come visit me? Or like, hey, why are you not answering your phone? I'm sure we all go through that, you know, like even out here having a relationship, like, hey, why are you not answering your phone? Like,
Yeah.
I'm busy. Like, so for them in there, you're not answering your phone, I'm sure it's a little more tough. But like you said, he's super understanding. That's good. So, family visits. Have you had your family visit yet? Or like, how does that work? Is there a process? Like,
I haven't yet. So that's going to take a while. You know, you just have to kind of just go by the moment, just wait. And I think it takes maybe like 2 to 3 months from what I heard. But every prison is different. You know, so there's a waiting list and you have to wait. And then obviously once you get approved, you get your date, you know, you get your list of what it is that you could take in and everything. And
have you already saw that list or
I
from other
haven't yet.
friends?
No,
or are
I
you gonna
haven't.
just wait
He
till you
just-
receive it so be
yeah,
like excited?
I'm just gonna wait
Yes.
because like I don't know what to expect. Everything changes. Even if they show me now, what if something changes next week or
Yeah.
when the time comes, you know, like you just never know. With the whole prison system, you never know.
And do you plan on having children?
That is our plan, yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's our plan.
Does he have children?
He does. He has a daughter and, well, I have my daughter too.
So 2 girls. His
Yeah.
daughter's already,
Yeah, she's older now.
she's older. She's like, what, 20 or something?
She's 21.
Yeah. Guys, the reason I'm kind of, I know these things is because I know her husband for a lifetime. So, you know, like what you say, you have like 6 months or whatever for your family visit. It's something to look forward to, something to like keep him like straight, you know, for him to stay focused, like, hey, I can't do this because I want to see my family. I want to have this visit. So that's kind of like a good thing, right? It's always a good thing. We all fight with our husbands, right? I fight with mine every damn day, right? How is it when you guys fight? Because obviously you can't call him back. I mean, now there's a tablet thing, right? That.
It doesn't change the fact that I can call him back.
Oh, so tell
It's
us more
tough.
about the fighting parts.
It's tough just because, you know, he gets very irritated. He gets frustrated, you know, because, like I said, his mind just starts running. Once it starts running, there's no stopping him.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to do whatever I can to kind of just be like, hey, like, relax, like it's okay, you know. So there are times where how do I say this? Like, I have to kind of just put a stop to it, you know, where I'll just, in the beginning, it was more like I would just kind of ignore it and I'll try to explain to him, you know, like, hey, like, this is what it is, you know, and now it's coming to the point where I'm just like, okay, you want to fight? Go ahead and fight. But when he does hang up, I can't call him back, which
so
is
stressful.
frustrating. I could text him, you know, through the app and stuff. I go ahead and text him and be like, hey, like, why you hang up on me? You need to call me back. And he will. He'll call me back right away.
Hey, at least you're with him in this era now where they have these tablets where you could video call him, and could video call you anytime he wants, as long as there's money in his thing, right?
Yeah, because before it was hard, and especially whenever they're going out to day room or whatever, and they get to call, and once they hang up, that's it. You kind of just have to go with whatever it is that you guys fought about, and it's hard. It's hard dealing with that.
Because then you're just sitting there with that, like, oh.
And then you're limited to your time, So sometimes when you're arguing and you only have 5 minutes left, you have to finish your argument before it hangs up. At least with us, like, we don't like to go to sleep, mad.
Yeah.
That's something that I've always told them in the beginning. Like, don't ever, fight with me and go to sleep mad.
Like, fool, just tell me you love me. Be back tomorrow, all right?
Exactly. So that's what's been working with us.
And what about visiting? Like, how does that go? Like, do you have to make an appointment?
Yeah.
Tell us more about the visiting stuff.
So it's kind of, I always call it like the Hunger Games. You have to wake up early in the morning. The appointments are set up at 6 in the morning through a website. Okay. So it's you and probably hundreds of other females trying to get an appointment.
Yes.
So, I usually use my phone, my iPad, and my computer. I have them all logged in, and I'm just clicking and clicking and clicking until I get my appointment.
You're fucking pro, huh?
Yeah. So you have to, because it's hard. It's hard to get an appointment. And once you get it, you're set. But even at that, when you do go to your appointments, shit happens. Sometimes you get kicked out, or like, it's too full and stuff, and they'll kick you out.
Oh, so you're saying, like, even if you have the appointment, it could be too full and you won't be able to
have your full appointment. So the one that I had, I want to say a few weeks ago, I had an appointment to go in. They kicked me out, I want to say, like the last hour and a half, because there was walk-ins coming in. So it was already packed. So, you've been there a long time already, so you kind of just got to go.
Ah, that sucks.
It does.
And when you kissed them the first time,
that's a story. I got in trouble, yes.
Tell us a little bit about your first kiss.
So when I had went up there to go see him, I was nervous. My leg was shaking. He probably saw that from miles away.
Hey, Rock.
Yes, I was like, oh my gosh. So I was shaking, I was nervous. So sitting the way that I am, I was obviously facing forward. He came from behind. He saw how nervous he must have seen how nervous I was, because he came and he hugged me. So he's standing behind me. He comes and he hugs me and he kisses me. So we knew not to kiss, but of course we kissed. Not even 5 minutes in, get terminated. I got kicked out.
And that was your actual first visit? My
first visit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got kicked out my first visit. That was on a Friday. I had a visit on Saturday. I went and I spoke with one of the COs, and she said, go ahead, come back tomorrow, you're fine. I come back the next day and they're telling me, hey, you have to be behind glass.
Oh.
So that was my first visit. So on Saturday I was behind glass, and after that they told me 30 days behind glass because of that kiss.
Ah.
So after we thought that was over, it wasn't, because they took our visits another 30 days. So after he actually went and talked to whoever he had to, with the lieutenant or whatever, they told him, he got his visit suspended.
Oh.
Yeah, for 30 days. So I didn't get to see him or anything. Yeah. So I would still go, because it was like a 6-7 hour drive. I would go just to see him for 2 hours, and I would come back.
That's major. If a guy doesn't appreciate that shit, kick that fool to the fucking curb. No offense, ladies and guys.
Yeah. It's hard. It's really hard, because like I said, the weather, having to go in there, financially too, like having to spend money in there on the food. Everything's expensive in there. Everything's super expensive. But, like us as, women, we want our men to eat. We want our men to have what they can have, like, on the daily. So, once going in to visit, I put my little bag down, whatever, and I go straight to the vending machines.
I've been hearing that, when you go visit, you can't take certain things. You have to, like, there's, like you said, there's new rules all the time. Like, what kind of bags, or like, what can you take?
Every prison is different. The one that I was going up there for the 6 hours, I was able to take, for example, my nose piercing. This last one where he was at before, I had to take it off. Every prison is different. There, they didn't check anything. Over here on this other one, they check how many rings you have, your necklace, the charms, earrings, your headbands. They look at everything.
Oh, snap. And do you think it's because, in case you want to slide one?
I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it is.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so they check everything. They note everything down and everything too. So they check you when you go in. They check you when you come out.
Oh, wow. That's intense. Also,
and as far as clothing, you can't wear too much tight clothes. You can't wear tank tops. Even if you're wearing a sweater over, you can't do any of that. It has to be, you know, like a blouse.
Like a t-shirt type. Ah, what colors? Can you wear any color?
No green, anything that the COs would wear.
Ah,
You
okay.
can't wear stuff like that. You know, you can't be matching with them. No blue jeans, no none of that. But like I said, every prison is different.
Every prison is different. And have you ever been like at a visit and it's like some shit happens with like, or like wives fighting with each other, or like girlfriends meeting the other girlfriends, or like
You see a lot of I mean, you're in a room with so many people, you know, so there are times that I have seen, you know, couples arguing and they're just sitting there.
oh,
Not even looking at each other, just looking on the floor, looking straight. You know, and
that's tough.
Yeah.
And especially for women, it's like, you know, you go through so much to go visit, to just have your man be pissed about what, obviously it's understandable that, okay, he's in there, you know what I'm saying? But it's not understandable because we don't have to understand. And we, like, I'm saying we as in like women, like we don't, I feel like you don't have to, you know, like they're like, why be mad? Like be happy. And I'm sure a lot of women go through that.
they do. One thing that I told him was, you know, don't be mad at me when I'm there. Just let's enjoy it the moment or whatever, and just, you know, go by it, because it's hard being sitting there just doing nothing after driving so long. You know, there's people that I've seen that actually take flights to go see their mans. You know what I mean? And not just that, but like, you know, whenever it comes down to visiting, shit happens out of nowhere. Your visit gets canceled when you're right there on the spot. You know, so you can't even go in because, you know, a fight broke down or whatever and they're on lockdown. And they don't care if you drove, you know, 2 days.
Yeah, they don't.
You're just not going to go in and that's it. So I think that's the hard part, you know, because one thing about us is like, we're very limited. You know, the ones that are controlling who, like the time that we talk, it's them. You know, so
Yes.
even when it comes down to like me personally, if, you know, if a CO tells me, hey, you can't bring that in there, I'm not going to sit there and fight with her.
Yeah, like here, keep it.
Yeah, like I'm not going to do that, because at the end of the day, she could be like, well, you're not going to go in there.
Yeah.
And there goes my visit.
Yes.
You know, so I've seen other girls, you know, they get mad at, well, why can't I wear this? Well, she passed by, why her and not me? No, like just, okay, you know what, it's cool, I won't wear it, and that's
Yeah,
it.
like whatever you say, I got you, throw it
Yeah.
out. As a matter of fact, you want to give me your shirt? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And not
To
just
make-
that, but even
yeah.
like little things like my coin bag, right? Like the coin bag that I took in the first time, the CO let me pass it by the first day. Literally the next day, I got a different CO and they said that's too big.
A coin bag, meaning like you have to put your quarters in?
Yeah.
'Cause
So
you
it's
could
a
only
clear
use
bag.
quarters.
It's a clear bag, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a clear bag. It has to be see-through and stuff. So, you know, like I said, the first one let me in. The second one, he's like, I'm not going to let you in the next time if you bring the same one. You have to bring a smaller one.
And they don't do like
No.
search.
You take off your shoes, you take off your sweater, you put everything there.
Okay.
You know, they check it and everything.
Not like
and-
some crazy. fucking-
No.
I've never gone to visit anybody in prison. I've never been able to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So it's,
Yeah, no,
it's
they
always
don't-
good
they
to-
don't do
I
any of
always
that.
want to ask these questions because eventually I feel like I want to visit one of my friends. Like I feel like I've been out long enough that I want to. I've been
Yeah.
denied a few times. You know, I've tried, but I want to know. You know, I want to go in there and interview somebody. No. They're gonna be like, yeah, bitch. No. But what is the biggest fight you guys had, or like, and the reason for it?
So our biggest fight, because we don't fight.
Oh, that's good.
We
So
don't
there's
really fight,
So
so-
there's not really a big fight, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's more like I said, it all comes down to him being, you know, his thoughts. It comes down to his thoughts, and like, I'm in a lot of prison wife groups, so there's a lot of times where like I see the girls venting in there. You know, they vent about like, oh, hey, like my dude's acting some type of way, or something must be up in the air, because
Wait, there's a prison wife groups?
there's a lot of prison wife groups. A lot.
And what do these prison wives groups consist of?
Drama.
I need the
It shouldn't
prison wives.
be.
If you're watching this, I need you guys. And as you guys could see, it's good to talk about how you feel. You know,
It is, especially because this is our own little community. You know what I mean? So I don't expect for you to understand me or, know where I'm coming from because you've never been in that situation.
Yes.
Just the same with everybody else that's seen.
Yes.
It's not something to understand unless you're there.
Exactly.
You're going through
and
it.
That's one of the main reasons why I wanted to have Prison Wives on Indicted TV, because I feel that they get talked so down on. And they don't actually know the situations or the things that they go through, or even how they feel, like, like how you feel. Like, prison wives are like just like any other wives, and they have to deal with even more BS. And I don't mean like from your spouse, but just in general, just from all the negative talk that people, like, oh, she's a prison wife, da da da. Like, no, like, you don't know.
When somebody thinks a prison wife, they right away think like, oh, she's just with them because, I don't know, maybe they don't have nothing going for themselves. Shit, I got everything. I got everything, and with him, it's only helped me even more.
Yes.
Just because, like I said, I've been always independent and stuff, so I need that support. I need that somebody who I could talk to, let him know, like, hey, like, this is what happened type of thing, without him having to be there like a chicle.
I see.
You know what I mean? So,
I know, I understand.
So it's like you need your space, you need your space, and I get a lot of space with him, because he's not just my husband, he's my best friend too. I'm able to talk to him about everything and ask him questions, and he's always going to tell me, what he thinks on his point of view.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's very hard, and like I said, being on those groups, like, it's good to be in it, but not to be too much, like, don't let it get to you. Your relationship is your relationship. Just because somebody's going through something doesn't mean it's going to happen to you.
Yes.
So, we're all living this fucking journey. We're all here to support each other. But at the end of the day, like, we're all different. Yeah. My relationship with him is not going to be, anybody else's relationships with their husbands.
Yeah.
And just because, I see somebody post about, how they caught their man's fucking talking to somebody else or whatever, doesn't mean he's going to do it to me.
That's right.
There's a lot going on, especially right now with the tablets, where, females are getting in, like, information from guys and just hitting them up out of nowhere, so.
Wait, I don't, say that one more time.
So there's the GTL tablets right now, you could text, you could call, whatever, which is, everybody knows anybody could text them and everything. And
as long as they have their number.
No, it's not a number. It's their
their number.
Well, yeah, like yeah.
But don't they have to approve it?
No.
Really?
With the tablets, is you could just message. Like, if you want to message him, you could look him up literally by his name, add him, and then you could go ahead and message him. And that's it. It's not like a visiting form where you have to get approved.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought they had to like accept it, and so that's like a whole different topic then.
Yeah.
Like
it's like
okay,
Facebook.
So now they can't even be like, well, man, like, now the wives can't even be like, well, why you write, you wrote her, like, now it's like, hey, now it's like I have no control. Yeah. These bitches is just hitting me up.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Honestly.
Dang, get it, guys. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, that's even probably harder.
Yeah.
Oh, these wives are going crazy.
Like, I just recently saw a post on TikTok of some girl that posted, she named whatever the girl's name, like, hey, if this is you, I know that you hit up my husband because he told me everything.
He sends her the screenshots?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, and girls are grimy.
Girls are very... snakes, remember? No, yeah. That is crazy.
Some girls don't care. They don't care.
Well, no, some girls don't.
Mm-hmm. They could, and that girl has a lot of pictures with her husband and everything. So it's not like, like she's hiding him. Like, it's obvious that she knew that she was they were together.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's intense. I never knew that.
So it's basically, like I said, it comes back to like, and I compare it to Facebook because on the actual app, you could actually see when they're online. There's a little green thing that says when they're online. But just because so it'll tell you if they're online or offline. But the thing is, just because it says they're online doesn't mean that they're on the phone. It means that they could be watching movies, they could be listening to music. If they're using the tablet, it's going to show that he's online.
Oh.
And that's the issue.
And that's where trust comes.
Exactly. That's where trust comes. And it's like, that was the issue in the beginning where I started seeing a bunch of females like, hey, like, because we don't know nothing. Nobody knows about any of this. We're new to, the whole tablet, and so are they. You know, so
Those fools are just
everybody
on, like, just happy that they're able
everybody's
to. You
yeah,
know?
but you see, that's how it should be. Like me, like I said, I was happy that he had the time that I could talk to him whenever I want, whatever. But you got the other girls were like, who is he talking to because he's online and he's not hitting me up?
The toxic ones.
The toxic
like, it's already
ones.
bad enough that he's in there dealing with all the chaos, and you're supposed to be his safe little place to
Yeah.
make him feel comfortable, and you're not doing that. But sometimes I feel like, girls have reasons why. But I mean, if you're
in that situation, then why be with them?
exactly,
You know,
like, unless you were like, if you met him in there, like, bitch, deal with it.
yeah. Well, I mean, the same with me. Like
Yeah.
I met him in
But
there,
if
so I have to deal with all of that stuff.
If you met him out
know.
here, you're riding with him because you're there with him. Then that's a whole different story. And I want to get one of those prison wives.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it's so cool that you're like, you guys have such a good relationship, and that he trusts you and you trust him, because that's what makes you feel comfortable and happy within you. You know what I'm saying? Well, congratulations. So what kind of food do they, like, what kind of food do they sell for, like, at visits or whatever?
So in the beginning, when I first started to go see him, we were just on chips and soda. You know, we couldn't eat nothing but that. So now they're starting to bring out more like the, burgers and burritos and little stuff like that. So it just, like, again, it all comes down to the prison itself. Where he was at before, it was like the burgers, the small little pizzas, like the ones at school and stuff, like the burgers from school and all that. The one that I went to, this recent one, they actually had the actual tacos. They had like the big burritos. They had chicken and stuff like that. So this is the one that they had a bunch of food where I was like, oh, goddamn.
And what's his favorite? Like, what is his favorite thing?
He loves menudo. Menudo's his favorite food. So that was, one of the things that I would get for him. And, he's stocked up with menudo right now. Menudo and popcorn. Popcorn is his biggest thing that he loves.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's something, like, always to look forward to,
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. Have you ever seen, like, a CEO, like, try to, like, mistreat him in any form?
Not mistreat him. It's just more like, I felt like we were getting picked on in the beginning just because we were new at the prison that he was at. So they were more like, hey, you guys, like I said, we kissed. So after that, they're just like, hey,
on top of you guys.
Yeah, you guys can't be too close, or you guys can't do this, or, they come and give us a warning. Like if I was rubbing, his back or whatever, hey, you can't be touching him. Like,
can you guys, like, hold hands?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have the little tables are probably like this. You're sitting there and you could hold his hand, and this last one that he was at, there's a little patio. You could actually go out to the patio and walk around. The one from before didn't have that. Yeah. So it's a different experience.
So, because, like, for them, he's been gone for such a long time. So to be, like, walking with a girl, I don't mean with the girl, but you get what I mean, holding hands, because you guys could walk and hold hands.
Yeah,
or
you can.
Yeah.
So you would have to go like on a U. Like it's like the whole visiting room, and you would have to go and walk around back again. Well, that was the one that didn't have the patio. The patio, obviously, you could go hang out, whatever, but that one that didn't have the patio, you have to go walk as a U.
And do you ever visit with his family as well? Like, you pick up his mom and things like that?
I haven't yet. Just because, like I said, he's been so far and stuff.
Yeah.
So, him being, even now, he's even farther. So like I was supposed to go next week, and I'm not going because it's snowing over there.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten to go with his family yet. I've taken my daughter, so when she first met him and stuff, there was obviously in there.
Oh, well, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is this?
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, I wanted to say thank you so much for allowing your wife to be on my show. I told her she was the guinea pig.
What?
She's the first one. She's opening the doors. And I do appreciate you letting her come on here. We're actually done.
Yeah.
We're done. We were just waiting for you to call so we could get you on here as well. So you're going to be indicted. But we didn't say your name or anything, so you don't worry about any of that. You guys have a good relationship.
Okay.
You're okay?
All right, thank you. I Yeah, I told you too. I was like, man, that shouldn't even be letting you, but since that's the homie right there, I'm gonna let you go ahead and do it. So you already
That's
know.
right. That's right. No, seriously, I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You already know that. And congratulations
you
on
already
your
know.
congratulations on your marriage.
Thank you. I mean, whatever we could do for you guys, you already know. That's kind of
I know.
whatever it is.
I know. Okay, well, I'm gonna pass her to you. I love you and be safe. And again, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart.
All right, Negra. Take care of yourself.
Okay, you too. Hold on.
Send mine to your husband.
I will. He's actually on the phone somewhere else. Hold on. Hold on. Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, girls, do you guys hear the giggle? That's the giggle of when they call from prison. That giggle is what it is.
Yeah,
Can you make her giggle like that out here? Not her. I just mean a woman in general.
Shut up. Is there anything you have to say?
Is there anything you would like to say of being a husband while incarcerated?
Yeah, just fucking keep the package coming and my fucking food and my visit.
Of course.
Of course, the food. The food.
Just, what do you mean? Anything I want to say?
Yeah, just anything that you want to say. You're on speaker,
Oh,
so
I just,
anything you want to
just-
say, feel free.
Just being in a relationship.
Just being in a relationship, like both of us being in a relationship, just like how she interviewed me, she's interviewing you now. So say what you gotta say.
Nah, well, I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard on my end. It's kind of hard on your end. I know. It's not a one-way street.
Ask him if it makes this time
I deal with stuff too.
like more.
Okay, hold on, babe.
Does being in a relationship, you know, since you've been down for so long and you're in a relationship now, married, how does it make your time?
Oh, it makes my time like better because I feel like I have somebody that's there for me.
Yes.
Somebody that's gonna
Yes.
keep me going.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about coming home.
Yes.
I'm not thinking about fucking just like how you think like who gives a fuck about anything.
Uh-huh. It gives you like a reason to stay positive.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. Well, again, thank you for letting her be on. And we just interviewed you, so you're going to be on Indicted too. Okay, be safe. Again, I love you. Y aquí te paso a tu esposa. Hold on. So, thank you so much for coming. Is there anything that you would want to share to other prison wives or to, like, you know, girls that are just, you know, are barely starting their journey with their loved ones? Is there anything that you would want to share? Do you want to tell us about your business? Does it have to do with, you know, like inmates, or like, tell us a little bit about that if you want.
Yeah, so my business, it's Active Hustlers Customs. I do everything is customized. So I do kind of try to hit like the more of the prison community, because like I said, like that's my biggest, you know, hit right now is the prison wives. You know, I do coin bags, I do sweaters, t-shirts, sets. I just started doing like the now decals, so
I saw that.
I sold a lot of these, so you know, pictures of their husbands or whatever. You know, so I try to, anything that I could do, I will add the pictures, and I just try to do everything that's kind of, well, what I would want. You know, I'm very obsessed with my husband. So I have him everywhere. I have him on a freshener, on an air freshener. I have a picture of him. I have him on my nail. I have a pop socket of us, you know, so I have him everywhere. And a lot of prison wives love to have their husbands everywhere too. So it's just more to like, kind of like to support in a way, because like I said, I'm all about, you know, supporting the prison wives, because I know what this life is like, you know, and my biggest thing, you know, is just be patient. Be patient and don't, you know, don't be so, how do I say this? Like, be understanding. Don't be too pushy about, you know, hey, like, the whole tablet thing.
Like, just be happy and love.
Yeah, be happy and be in love and enjoy that he has a tablet and he could talk to you. Don't be
Yes.
too on him like, hey, what are you doing? Maybe he's just watching a movie. Like, and that's one thing that I kind of, in the beginning when it first started, that's one thing that I told, you know, I did make a post and I said, hey, like, you know, be a little bit considerate and understand that these guys have not, there's probably guys that haven't even touched the damn, you know, touch phone. This is the first time. So to them, it's like when we get a phone, we want to see what it does.
Exactly.
You know, and that's how they are right now. They're like, oh shit, we got a tablet. Like, let me see what it does. How can I, you know, do the text messaging? How can I call? What, like, the movies that it has? Like, it's going to take a while for them to actually learn everything.
Yeah, so the prison wives either better get it right and be there and be happy,
or let him be happy.
Because if I was a male, if you know, I'd be like, bitch, listen, you're either gonna be all right or we could keep it pushing. Because I'm the one that's in here.
Yeah.
You know, obviously they need you guys, but technically they don't. So if you're giving me a headache, bitch, keep it pushing.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know?
it's the same thing with
For
us.
both. No, if vice versa, you know?
Exactly.
But thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate him letting you come on because I know that's kind of, you know, it's you know, you can't do anything without asking your husband, and that has nothing to do with him being incarcerated. It's just in general, you know, like I asked my husband, hey, can I do this? It's not that you're asking for permission. It's you're respecting his, you know, you're respecting him. So you want to let him know, like,
You're considerate.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching Indicted TV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.